I'm Danielle Maclin. I am a middle school social studies teacher. I've been teaching for the last 11 years, and for the last 6 months, I've been working with NUITEQ, which provides this really great software that comes built in with our clear touch boards and is also accessible on a web browser at snow.live. So I promised I wasn't going to take a lot of your time, and I'm not going to, but I want to show you how quickly and how easy it is to create lessons within NUITEQ and within the Snowflake app. The beauty of Snowflake is we have over 400,000 standard aligned already built into the software. We're constantly uploading new standards where you're able to search for lessons that have already been created by a team of educators. Everyone that I work with in my global team are teachers, so they all know how lessons work within a classroom. So you can choose from literally thousands of pre-made high quality lessons, standard aligned, many of which have YouTube linked videos and additional curriculum attached to it, so like worksheets if you wanted to do that, or links to other websites. But if you're like me and you think of something really quickly and you want to like push it out as fast as possible, creating a lesson is really easy to do. In Snowflake, they already have a 16 template pre-created setup, so you simply have to input the data into the different lesson designs, and it goes really quickly. With my students with middle school social studies, we do a lot of vocabulary, so one of the lessons I use often is a guess lesson type. And when I set up this lesson, I can do it a variety of different ways. I can give my kids a clue, like a hint to what I want them to look for the word, or I can make it really difficult on them because sometimes their misery brings me joy, and I can just give them the word that they have to figure out on their own. So it's a really great way to reteach or to even introduce things that we're covering in class. So I'm gonna do just a couple. My kiddos just finished learning about ancient Greece. I'm gonna type in real quickly so I can show you how fast it goes, some of the words that we might have used. So we learned about the city of Athens. We learned about Sparta. We also learned about the Parthenon. And we learned about the Trojan War. So there's just a couple of the quick words that my kids have already learned the definition to. I can make this as long as I want. I can add questions to give them hints when they play. And then once it's set up, I just have to title it and simply hit play. And then now this lesson plays kind of in like an old school hangman style lesson. So the best way to get a feel for it is to come up and touch it. So who wants to come play the game? So you got a letter correct. Oh, he got one wrong. He broke a heart. And I always tell my middle schoolers, like, don't go through life being a heartbreaker. Like, you want to try and guess it right on the first time. Oh! Yay! Good job.
Great job.
So with my middle schoolers, one thing that we often do is we won't just play it with one person one at a time. We do competitions because they're really competitive kids. So with Snowflake, one of the things that you can do is set up the board into multiple different zones. So I can take the same lesson, I can open it in 2 different zones or 4 different zones, and I can have my kids doing the exact same thing. I'm gonna just make sure that it's set to randomize, so then that way they're not guessing the same word at the same time, because they're also sneaky and they like to cheat, and I don't want them to do that. So I can take that same lesson and I can change it from a guest lesson type to a different style lesson. I'm gonna change it now to more of a word search. My data's already there. My information is already included, so now the kids would be using the same thing, same information, but now in a different format. So who wants to come up and play this one?
We got a volunteer.
Yeah, and there's a USB sheet, like I said, we're getting those new
Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Very good. Good job.
Yeah.
So just that simple, quick lesson, I've been able to push it out in 2 different ways, using the exact same data, the same information, not having to really do a whole lot to reinvent it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
But since I'm a little extra with some of the stuff that I do, I know that this is a lesson too, that if I really wanted to put in more time, I could go through and I can add in a description. So that if I wanted to share it with my colleagues, I could say, here's the words that we're using, this is a lesson. I can add in YouTube linked videos. So if I found a lesson that was really great with this particular content, I can add that video in, so the video then plays before the kids do the lesson. The other really great thing with Snowflake is the stuff that's already there, the lessons that have already been created by a community of educators. In my own school, I know that in the 2nd grade class, they have their own group where they are constantly sharing the same lessons, so then every student in 2nd grade is getting that same content, regardless of which teacher is creating that lesson. So that's what I had to show you with how to use the lessons, how quickly and easy it is to create them.